Hello everybody, this is Giraffe Dragon here, and I'm back for more. Last time I have uploaded the finale of Super Mario Sunshine, and now I am moving on to a new LP. But this one's going to be broken up into chunks essentially, because there are 4 campaigns, and I want to do them all. And this was actually my previous recording, but I decided that I ended up recording way too much. So this time I'm going to be trying to go at it a little bit slower. We're going to start with Team Sonic, we'll move on to Dark, then Rose, then Chaotix. We're going to be going in order. How did Eggman create gifable paper? I am actually really impressed.
Sounds like an invitation to party.
What are we gonna do, Sonic?
No worries. We've got this one. Ha! Think I'd miss this? Time to crack that Eggman wide open. Yeah, let's party!
And the machine just sort of flies off. Wonder what happens to it. For Team Sonic, all of your missions are strictly head to the goal or beat the boss. And just like in Sonic games of old, you have two acts where you go through levels, and then you have a third act where you face a boss.
Once the checkpoint is touched, you can restart from there when you lose a life. Each time you trigger a checkpoint, the leader's level is also increased.
You see, this game is already doing my explaining bit for me. Here we go. Now, speed formation characters are, of course, the fastest of the bunch. Power formation characters are the second fastest, while flight characters, while in their little totem pole, which you are pretty much stuck in by default, they are the slowest. Whoa! Yes! What I picked up back there in the cage was a key. These special keys allow you to get into the special stages. Of course, a special key would let you get into the special stage. And I'm just chaining all these homing attacks together. Like, wow, I'm doing pretty. Even though I just had a recording that I decided wasn't good enough, I'm still holding up pretty strong.
Press the A button repeatedly to increase ascent speed.
Yeah, you see, I don't even have to go through the tutorial though. Oh boy, when I end up doing Team Rose. Now, Team Sonic. They are what you might call the normal mode of the game. They have basically the most normal sort of levels that have a very basic sort of progression. Their levels, in my opinion, don't feel too long, and they don't feel too short. At least in most scenarios. Now, usually against flying enemies, you want to use Tails or Sonic. Now, I should probably go ahead and explain the formations. Speed formation gives you a lot of speed, allows you to go up holes, and go past obstacles that require, well, a lot of speed. Power formation characters allow you to break large objects that neither of the other characters have a chance of trying to break. Flight characters allow you to reach ledges that you wouldn't be able to reach on your own with Knuckles or Sonic. But as a drawback, you can't actually fly that far. you always have a set vertical distance that you can go, but your horizontal distance is really kind of meant. But your horizontal distance that you can reach, it really depends on how fast you were going before. Whoop! Whoop! Huh. Huh. As you can see there. Now, when cannons are into question, flight characters tend to sort of go into wherever they want to go. Speed characters sort of have a tendency to take boost pads, while with the power formation, you have basically a 3-hit cannon, with the last shot being you firing your power formation character. I would say, whenever the game forces you to do this, I really suggest that you be careful because it honestly sucks doing that a lot. And you start the game with 4 lives, and it's... Actually, no, I think you start with... Yeah, you start with 3 lives, and I already got like 200 rings. That's ridiculous. And at this point, all my characters are powered up. And this is real sweet. There are all sorts of things... Now, the thing that all speed formation characters share is the rocket excel, where your other 2 teammates get close behind you, and then they, well, as the name suggests, excel you forward. Basically, sort of like a rocket itself. But Sonic's sort of normal but his normal move on the ground when he's just sort of dashing is just sort of a really fast kick. It's just sort of like a slide kick. With each of the power formation characters have something really unique that happens when they level up each time, because when they level up once they gain a finisher to the combo, and each time they level up after the fact, that combo gets a little bit stronger. Plus, all the characters will get stronger the more those little orbs that they collect. Emblems are also back. You can unlock multiplayer stuff with that. By the time that you beat this game and actually do that, just what's bare minimum required, you will have about I want to say, what am I thinking? Oh crap, I'm actually kind of messing up here. And I am messing this up greatly. Now, the problem that a lot of people have with this is, well, the control, obviously. And what I found is that you don't want to mash the B button. You want to try to gain these orbs. The ones that have stars on them, those are sort of like extra points. You want to avoid the bombs, because bombs would drain your meter like nothing else. There is a set distance for you, but you also are stuck in a time limit. Whoa!
Leave it to me.
Here we go.
Those star-shaped ones give you a lot of boost, so try to do that if you can. In my opinion, you kind of want to stick in the speed formation best you can if you can get away with it. Now, the first set of special stages aren't actually that important, but the second set are actually very important, because in every second act, the second act special stages will give you access to the Chaos Emeralds. However, you must earn them. However, you must earn them. You have to chase them down. And if I am doing that atrociously, then oh boy, I am going to do great. This is just going to be wonderful. Anyways, what was the last tangent about, something about... Oh yeah, Knuckles' specific upgrades is that when he powers up once, he does a punch to the round that's a rather short shockwave. When he levels up for a second time, it becomes sort of like this little ball of fire in a sense, and it lasts there for a good while. When he levels up a third time, however, he does the same thing as he does before, but now that little ball of fire that's on the ground is, well, more like a bunch of like little balls that just sort of erupt from the ground like a volcano. This is introducing the dive maneuver. The triangle dive, to be precise. Now, what the triangle dive is that you jump into the air with your power formation characters, and then you press A for a second time. You will go into this dive. It allows you to float upwards. It allows you to be able to carry yourself with a draft. It is a little slow, though. Also, something to note is that power formation characters will one-shot most standard enemies. They'll make absolute mincemeat out of them.
Yes!
Alright!
Also, if you come back over this way, you find a whole bunch more coins, as well as a 1-up. You can also move the camera with the C-stick in case you're actually curious. I always try to activate it just a little bit before I'm supposed to. That way I can try to use the sliding hitbox to sort of break my way past the door. On the right side is invincibility, the other side is a shield. Invincibility is, well, very self-explanatory, but the shield gives you one hit without losing any of your rings. Now, you might see that we have something called a Team Blast. That is essentially a screen nuke that will destroy all lesser enemies. And deal a great chunk of damage to bosses. Whoa! I should have taken damage there, but I didn't. I got kind of lucky there. Now, when your Team Blast is in cooldown, you have a special effect that happens for every team. Team Sonic's special effect is that they are able to do something like to call the Ultimate Thunderball technique, or kind of like an Ultimate Light Dash technique in a sense, where Sonic will be flung essentially, or Sonic will be flung and deal a lot of damage as well as just fly around all over the screen. It is best to utilize it in flight formation, however, it can also be utilized in speed formation by performing the Blue Tornado. The way how you perform the Blue Tornado is by pressing A and then B while you're in the air. And there's another key. Sadly, something that I kind of wish could happen but doesn't is that I kind of wish that keys could stack. That's something that I kind of wish. Like, let's say that you managed to... Like, let's say that you got the first key like I did, and then... Whoa! Like, let's say that you got the first key, and then, like me, you also grabbed the second one without taking any extra damage from enemies. Like, I kind of wish that you would get a second key, and then what that could do is either A, if you take damage again, you only lose one of the keys and say, like, all your rings. Or, perhaps, if you manage to keep both of them throughout the entire level, you're given 2 chances at the special stage. Or you get to go through it twice. That would actually be kind of cool. I'd like to see that. Oh, that's actually kind of worse than the last time. That's probably because I didn't power up Knuckles at all. Poor dude. By the time that you beat the game normally, you'll have about like 84 or so of them. At least I think. Yeah, you'll have like about 80 of them. And the special stages of the second levels, as I said before, are the Chaos Emeralds. Now, the reason why I'm not boosting immediately is because I want to build up, I want to do some build up first. I want to try to get some boost before I try anything. Because if I'm lucky enough, I can catch it before anything else happens. Thankfully, in the first Chaos Emerald stage, there won't be any sort of like particular hazards, but from all Chaos level stages forward, they will all have hazards, and they pop up real quick. But they also could pop up in sections. And you see how great that is? 3 extra lives. If I had done it faster, I would have gotten 4. Or if I had like more boost to actually rack up the score. And the third stage is always a boss fight. These don't really have variants. There's just slight differences between the main campaigns. Now the hint that I want to give you here is go ahead, start running. Try to rush ahead a little bit, but then slow down before you reach to the circle area. Because if you go past him when you're near the circle area, he'll fly right over it, and you'll have to wait another round of chasing him before he concedes and basically lands on the ground again. Now, there's a lot of ways you can take this guy out. You can just aim right for the head like I do. You can try to immobilize him, and wow, I actually managed to do that in one turn. That's actually really good. Now, let me think here. Pretty much everything that you saw there is there as well, but if you let it drag on a little bit, more and more enemies will eventually sort of spawn, and if you didn't damage him fast enough, you would have had to continue chasing him again. Most rounds that I see usually involve either first round or second round. Anyways, that'll be it for tonight, folks.